Morning, everybody.
Morning.
Thanks for joining us on this very special occasion. I'm Tracy Mulcahy, and I'm with the City of North Liberty, and it's my honor to celebrate the opening of the time capsule, who was placed in 1976. I was 5 years old, by the way. 50 years ago, members of the newly minted American Legion Post 1976 and city leaders stood in front of the City Hall of that era during the country's bicentennial. It was a time of parades, patriotic spirit, and if you've seen the photos, lots of red, white, and blue polyester. Were this surely impressive? They prepared a time capsule and sealed it in the base of the flagpole, trusting that someday future residents, us, would open it and enjoy a look back at their world. And it really was a different world. In 1976, gas was about 60 cents a gallon. Can't even mow your yard with that amount of gas. And a new home cost about $45,000. Isn't that just adorable? Today in 2026, our cars run on electricity, our watches can track our heart rate, our steps, and our sleep. It basically tells us the time sometimes. And North Liberty, once a small town, is so one of the fastest growing communities in the state. Sometimes it feels like we add a new subdivision right before lunch. But for all those changes, some things haven't budged at all. The dedication of our veterans, the strength of community spirit, and the belief that it's worth leaving something meaningful for those who come next. Preferably something that won't confuse them too much when they dig it up. I want to take a moment to thank American Legion Post 1976 for their role in creating this capsule. Their partnership with the city, lasting half a century now, says so much about the values that makes North Liberty what it is. As we get ready to open this, we're reconnecting with the people who lived here 50 years ago. Some of them might even be here today, which means they now get to explain their 1976 hairstyles and fashion choices in Erstwood. Whatever we find inside, photos, letters, newspapers, or maybe it was something that was considered cutting-edge technology, it's really a gift. It reminds us that our history is made up of everyday people who cared about their community and wanted to be remembered. And while we're looking at what they left for us, isn't it fun to think about what we might put in a time capsule for 2076? The Gazette is doing a time capsule. Right now, they're seeking things to put in their capsules they will open in 2076. Maybe we put a smartphone in so future generations can look at the ancient technology. Maybe it's a menu for one of our restaurants so that they can see what humans ate before everything is in nutrient-optimized hue. Thank you all for being a part of this moment. Thank you to American Legion Post 1976 for their vision and continued service. And thank you to everyone who contributes to making North Liberty a wonderful place to live, grow, and occasionally open things that have been buried for 50 years. Let's see what's in this stamp. So after it is opened, the contents will be taken to the North Liberty Library for inventorying and making it so that it's perpetually remembered. I was just going to grab my tin and blows.
What does the plaque say? Can you read it?
The plaque says, I know one thing that it says that we're a little off on. A day. It says a bicentennial time capsule, historical data concerning the history of North Liberty and the city's participation in the American bicentennial, to be open July 4th, 2026. Here we go. Biographies of local settlers. Mr. and Mrs. J.C. Furmeister. Various historical items. The slips are rusty. There's a letter to Mr. J.C. Furmeister, 135 West Zeller Street. A newspaper clipping. Endershot Farm. A postcard from North Liberty. Public school picture. Johnson's History of Johnson County, 1883. Picture of Vienna Urban. Stone for both old and present state capitals obtained near North Liberty. Bethel Church of God, organized about 1860. First church was burned in early days, still have regular church services. Located west of town on Road F57, about 1 mile. A Brief History of Penn Township and North Liberty by Mrs. Edith Rinn. And an article about the history of portion. This one is labeled Mr. and Mrs. J.C. Furmeister. Stamp on this is phenomenal. Mahaffey Bridge. The reasons for preserving Mahaffey Bridge, as suggested at a territorial meeting held at Solon, October 4th, 1957. Picture of the bridge. (1956). A new bridge to be built higher than the level of the dam's spillway. The new bridge. Lots of pictures of the bridge. Big new Mahaffey Bridge now open to traffic. 1966. The Subcommittee of Public Works on the Committee of Appropriations. A statement by John J. Amera, Associate Professor of the State University of Iris. Interesting. And then the last folder is labeled Biographies of Look the 70s. So what they did was took pictures of the paper, so that preserves it better than the paper, I think. North Liberty couple honored on their golden wedding anniversary. Ira J. Chamber. Jacob George. L.L. Stoner. Isaac Myers. Major Edward Myers, killed in action in the European War Theater. The Chamberlains celebrating their 60th wedding anniversary. Sergeant John Ramsey, the last of the Bucktails. Mrs. Richard Veldhaus. Gertrude Stoner of North Liberty was wed Tuesday night. So it's the article about the wedding. And then a whole bunch of articles of biographies of folks that were here in the community, historic. That's the first one. The second one. The name on it is Lawrence C.
Should up you sardines. Can I walk up?
It was a letter mailed to him. from the Bicentennial Association in Washington, D.C.
Yeah.
What is North Liberty's bicentennial dedication? By whom? The State Bicentennial Commission, the North Liberty Optimist Club, North Liberty Legion, post 1976. When? At 1:30 on June 27, 1976, at the North Liberty Fire Station. Why? Because North Liberty is a growing city that is to be dedicated as a bicentennial community. It was the thought that there is a need for a flagpole and flag. Your support by witnessing the dedication is what's needed. Please plan to attend. Thank you. Items in these boxes were gathered by J.C. Furmeister and A.J. DeArmond, with help from Mr. Furmeister's many friends. The flagpole base which houses these items was dedicated to the city of North Liberty by the North Liberty Optimist Club. Helping with the construction of the base and erection of the pole were Ron Gall, Dick Turnipseed, Ron Slace, John Hartnett, Charles Sprague, Dave Dunleavy, John Fisher, Keith Knoll, Tom Serco, and Iowa Electric Power and Lights. A bicentennial message from the President of the United States, signed by Gerald R. Ford. The collection of people that were present at the ceremony and the flagpole was erected. Pictures of North Liberty and the pole when it was going up. The Star Spangled Banner. Clock out. This made him half the Bridge Road. It was done by Shy Pattery Engineering. An article on extinction. American Legion Post to be formed in North Liberty, and it's got the 37 names of the original founders. The commander was John Hartnett at that time.
Oh, no, you're okay.
Pictures of North Liberty taken in the 60s and the 70s. Help with that so bad. Nope. 14. So there's a picture of Poacher's Grocery with the filling station. The bank. So is office. A postcard of North Liberty, Iowa / Coralville Lake. The Optimists Board of Directors from that year, the president was Dave Dunleavy. Vice presidents were Jim Rogers and John Fisher. The secretary treasurer was Jim Scanlon. Three of their newsletters from that era. Lifetime Enterprises. Anybody remember the Lifetime building? That was town. A couple weeks ago, you requested I send you a picture of the building along with the brief history of Lifetime Enterprises. The purpose was distributing cookware and household-related products to the customer in the states of Iowa and Illinois. Lifetime Enterprises at present does a volume in excess of $1 million per year and organized another finance company called Savings Plan Center for the purpose of handling retail and installment sales customers. And it's secure for Lifetime Bank. The building was constructed in 1966.
A lot perfect for the Pleasant.
Yeah. Yeah.
There are negatives, lots of negatives. A roster of okay, so it's pictures with a listing of what the pictures are. Enclosed are very old photographs taken by Don Nelson of the Iowa Highway Patrol. He is a member of the Optimist Club and operator of 3 Castle Air Force, 5 miles west of North Liberties. Labeled pictures, looking west on East Zeller, looking northwest on South Front Street. City Council minutes from June 15th of 1976, signed by Mary Kay Yorty. And that is it, folks. This is enough.
Wonder what's on that.
I can't.
Where's the count at the end?
Right. And thank you all for joining us today.